Cold coffee and cigarettes. I've got the time. Season's too late. I'm past my prime. Out of and things to do. Don't reprimand me for being caught in the blue. Cold coffee and cigarettes. What's the deal? Too young to beg, too old to steal. I'll just bide my time until the next big thing comes along. Find myself by writing a song. Cold coffee and cigarettes. I watch too much TV. I have an errant imagination. I just want to be free. Cold coffee and cigarettes. Won't you leave me alone? I'm jaded past the point of feeling. I just want to roam. Cold coffee and cigarettes. Don't go with nothing at all. Cold coffee and cigarettes. Outdoors it is fall. This next one, it's called pollination. I want you to use your imagination. Hit it, Jeff. Go ahead, man. Lay something down. Detroit blues style. Pollination. Pink blossoms never look so tempting to the eye, nor do they smell so appealing to the nose. Velvet, silky gracefulness, bowing in a gentle breeze. Should I linger? I suppose. For the gossamer petals do not endure. Their fragile iridescence succumbs to heavy blows, susceptible to freezing. In a sheltered garden grows. With warmth and light and radiance, their supple branches bend, healing, patient, and joyous, their mystery portends. Each is unique in shape, smell, and hue. How wonderful it is when they are sacrificed for you. The droplets from the heavens nurture leaf and root, while the nutrients from the soil conceive their resplendent fruit. Candor, zest, and flair reveal their true intent. Intoxicating properties before their life is spent. Luxurious sheen resounds. Perfect in their sculpture, their symmetry abounds. Sunlight's golden rays glancing off the leaves render growing shoots larger by the eve. Whether in a meadow, wooded glen, by a brook, or packaged in a market square, safely in a pot, a flower's vibrant color, rare and hard to match, brings beauty to our meager day, and our attention's rapt. This one came across on Q2405. Hey man, didn't you say that girl was gonna come by in a little bit, Jeff?
Yeah, she said she might come by the crib. She said she wanted to play the bingo with me tonight, but you know my money's funny, so I don't know if Dolores is gonna take a look-see into the crib. You know what I'm saying? You know,
that coffee's cold. You got any that's hot over there?
Do you gotta aggravate me about getting some more cold coffee? What the hell's wrong with you?
When we're done. Alright. Revolution's fountainhead. The rebounding nature of humans form, the abstract perseverance from our collective spirits, set fast against the coming storm. The future unfolds. Should we fear it? Our levity tendered by the need for serious repose, our inhibitions shackled by Puritan values, still latent in our composition. The days of panic and terror are drawing to a close. As each undertakes adventure's call, the boons come to their fruition. Serenity's grace, harboring a multitude of spiritual riches, benevolently manifests itself for those who have the patience to abide. Success awaits for those with the fortitude to believe. Our faith, our hope, shall be our guides. Our dreams' benefactions shall be conceived. Over and over the echoes of the refrain are heard. Perish not our relevation, our truth shall be served. Dignity and pride are the heralds of our nation. Our people's shattered glory, retold in song and verse, shall be a triumphant story as monolithic as our country's birth. A meditation on the valor of our land, as past misdeeds go unrecalled, as the commencement of our enlightened hands, the revolution's fountainhead is awaiting all. Alright, Jeff, here we go, man. I'm a nervous passenger, a momentary flagpole. I was still around when the sun shone, bright star, illuminating infinity's expressway, checking the blind spot of my vehicle Earth, navigating tattooed rubble and debris of an afterlife. My icon waits for me, loving and caring while the day's events scuttle the mind. Busy wanderers, conquering and swearing, caught in the hype of money and time, transcending paradise for a piece of the action. Restore us to the brink of sanity. Shattered towers and propaganda raise. Toxic threat must be turned over. Inventory, placid places and ground zeros. Where returning addictions meet with grace and empathy. Does the leader understand it is a day at a time? The 4-year agenda taking the driver's seat while billions are wasted, smoke up in oil fires thousands of miles away, causing our unborn to shame. Fragmented bottom in our name at least. 3,000 carried the message. Smoke and flame consumed our greed. A handful of men took advantage of our vanity. Our self-obsession ran riot. And at its center, our egos thrived. Less fortunate sought to begrime our name. As they did, we began to change. Growing and adapting, even we had to do the things we didn't like to in order to alleviate our burden. We are not invincible on this our ambulatory ride. This is not where it is that counts, but where we are going. The boons of our journey, compassion for our fellow man, treating others as equals, becoming more spiritually connected to our environment, people. A newfound respect and reverence will be heralded through the culture. We'll cast off our shackles of fear. Vacancy, voids, created by so many departures. Unbearable old man of winter stricken the commute. To be shut in an ample room of mysterious good deeds. Tarnish the horizon with clouds of solemn convolution. The choices are clear. Upending relations to be transplanted to a toxic environment where judgment suffocates my roaming heart and spoils my self-esteem. Jeff, play me some Beach Boys, man. You know any Beach Boys?
I never heard of that blues band.
Oh.
What'd they ever do?
Oh.
Never heard of those guys.
Oh,
They
yeah.
played B.B. King or somebody like that?
You got any Muddy? Yeah. Sounding good. Where we at with this stuff, man? Let's check it out. Nah, that's not it. Oh yeah, here we go. On wisdom. Tendered wisdom never holds its value as a hard-learned lesson. My vulnerabilities do not make me susceptible to success. Instead, I reckon. I roam. I roam through the chambers of my heart, blinded by my own self-will. That will, burning like scores of candles, lit by an impassioned ego, suffocates the logically prudent side of my fragile temperament. Wisdom cannot prepare one for the casting off. Throwing myself at the mercy of a thin-lipped, secluded notion has subtracted from the outgoing nature of pristine love. Where, wisdom, did you disappear to? I shall be doomed forever to be the stone that builder refused. Second-guessing myself in lieu of... Alright, man. Detroit Blues City, man. This one's called Nights in the Attic. Nights in the Attic. Professing the blues as my religion in 1993, I drive my 1959 Edsel Villager station wagon down to the Attic Bar in Hamtramck, Michigan, every Thursday night to witness Jeff Malin, aka Detroit Slim at the time, herald the 12-bar sweetness for a select crowd. At that time, Jeff was a 40-something legend of the Detroit blues scene. The Attic venue on Thursday nights was an especially good setting because it was rather cozy and intimate. I'd leave work after shift from the Door Factory and drive down Interstate 75 south of the Kniff exit. It would take me 20 minutes to get there if traffic was light from the Troy suburbs. I was an underage drinker at age 19, but I quickly became assimilated into the regular crew of drunks, and my double blackjack was usually waiting on the bar by the time I sat down. I always tipped like the bar was going out of business tomorrow. Some of friends came from the factory, and they introduced me to the bartender, Paul. Paul and I became friends, or as friendly as we would be able to become. "Double blackjack and coke, Paul," I stated walking through the bar on no particular Thursday night. "Sure thing, Jared," Paul replied. I sucked down the first series of drinks as if they were a diamond mine, hoarding each one and eager for the next to strike. The rapid succession lent itself well to the chain smoking out of my box of Marlboro Reds. "Whee! All right," I shouted, clapping my hands with much ruckus and bravado. Exhausting cigarette smoke through my nose, my leather jacket became a smoke-infused garment of armor. Between the jacket, the boots, and the 50s Detroit steel I was driving, hood was the only term to call to mind in defining my appearance, demeanor, and characterization. The Attic itself was an antiquated bar, probably built in the 20s. It was 3 separate rooms with 2 restrooms in the middle on the main floor, or main bar along the back wall. The pool room was off to the left, and the stage and main dining area were off to the right. The pool room housed 2 6-foot bar tables that were uneven as the power structure of Detroit. The rails were equally as crooked. The pool room was lit with fluorescent overheads and darkness dwelled within most times. The main bar was brightly lit with antique fixtures, and you could see the light's reflection in Paul's bald spot all the time. Stage was well lit, but main dining was as dark as a peep show movie theater and just as dirty. During intermission, Carlos and I would disappear out to the Edsel to smoke some marijuana. Jeff never did smoke pot, nor drink, but man, that coffee mug and perpetually burning cigarette were in his hands, sure as taxes. One note about the Attic. In the apartments up above lived the skyscrapers of the blues, the Butler twins. They were also aghast to see live on Friday nights there. The pot and the double jacks had increased my buzzing, and I was ready for the second set. Or was it the third? I decided to move into the main cathedral of the Attic. The stage was Jeff's altar. With just 3 notes, he was able to elevate the consciousness, heighten brainwave activity, and depress the clutch, making the shift from mind to heart to soul using an 80s white Squire strap. Cigarette dangling from the corner of his mouth, Jeff took the stage, and by took it, he ascended to it in the most deliberate fashion. He wore black pants and a white t-shirt with the sleeves cut off of it. He was about 6'1", lean and full of raw energy. His expression could go from happy-go-lucky to menacing, clouded dark, ending in lizard creature in just about 2 bad words. I struck a flame to a fresh Marlboro, in honor of the ceremony. Taking a gingerly contemplated sip off the blackjack, I was ready to be blown back 40 years. Jeff began to play, a slow blues building in crescendo over the measures. It heightened my buzz for some unknown reason, and I was awestruck. "The blues is the best drinking music," I muttered to myself. I had the feeling that I had transcended time and space. I was back in the 40s or 50s in every possible way. Jeff wailed on the squire, showing it no quarter. Notes that had not yet been transcribed seemed to be issuing forth from the PV2. A chorus of angel demons was warming up somewhere above. The music kept spiraling me out further and further like a planet on the outermost ring of its elliptical orbit. Color, sound, light, darkness, shape, feeling, and emotion fused under the smoke and dimness. I thundered applause as Zeus would hurl lightning bolts in fury. My cheers that issued forth were proportionate to my level of intoxication. The energy flowed through Jeff into my being. Then, promptly at 2 a.m., bad passion began to break down and Benedict out. I headed home gently and felt good for the next 2 days. In my thoughts, I could not wait till next Thursday. Next Thursday.
That was
They got this 24-hour place around town.
really?
Yeah. I've heard the bitches there are pretty fine, but,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
It sounds like a plan.
I gotta tell you, this character I know wrote something about it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna read it to you. Hold on, here it is. This is their review of it. Majestic wanderer, show me the way. Battle cry vixens, kids in the way. So full of themselves and eternal lust, transforming into ultra bitches. So haughty, trying to be refined, acting so innocent, betraying diseased minds, dressing too ill, made up like dolls, won't even make eye contact, talking on cells. What reason has brought them to flock, scorning mock? Child resentment, for they will lead the new day, makeshift glory from an Xbox or PlayStation 2. Truckers' caps. Non-sequential t-shirts. Those are their boons. A Blink 182 culture. Yeah, they're trying to be 70s. Bunch of cash cows. Trendy bourgeois, pretending hip, bring us an artist. So fresh out of school, so eager to drive. No time for blues. Make our journey complete. Running the streets with an attitude of, I don't care. Trying to get back in tune. Glaring stare. An old fart. Can't understand where the excitement is, or why it is where it is. Time passed. Left this wreckage of this children's crusade, clogging the streets, boggling the mind. Where should I fit in? Where do I fit in? Their suffering complete, no desire to compete, as careless as the wind. Fleeting moments their discrimination unfolds. Soon, soon, soon they'll be very old. Mortgage pressures and a tax line due. Running under the pale moons. Brood another day, grow weak and feeble. Steal against the new. Performance given over to blind hypocrisy. Fill my shoes. Vanity admiration, swept up by the digital era. Forcing remix of forgotten crude. Angry generation, who's destined to exit, save, cut, copy, and paste. To the children, while I may have heard of a better way, do not take my bitterness as a symbol of recalcitrance. Imbibing the spirit, healing the wounds, raising the dead from freedom's tomb. Leave remembrance to the elderly. As you are busy, on your way, antagonize the middle-aged. Upon your conscience they do prey. Ruin the night with moody despair, caught up in adolescent airs. Bravo. So Jeff, what What kind of guitar is that anyway? A blues guitar or is
Yeah,
it?
it's something I got from the 60s. You know, pops in the pickup sign. I try to make it talk.
You know, it sounds like it's got that garage sale reverberation, man.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
All right. How the women treating you these days?
Pretty good. They've been all right, you know. I was gonna take this one girl to the bingo the other day, but you know my money was funny.
Yeah. You know, I was talking to this one cat, and they're telling me about when they're talking to those exes. You know, sometimes that's like sitting on a pile of garbage like this. But here's what they had to say about it. The women of my past come back. Dark vision. Restorative nightmare. Disturbing vision. Revisit the pain and shame of 1,000 burned out nights, where paranoia and fear and bitter tongue cursed. Crushing feeling the married life of a drunken louse. Coffee saturation, livid tears, near-death experiences do we share, the common suffering. Can time console the past and bring rectification to a marauding spirit? Miles and years separate the unhappy saga. Dare committal and bring a desperate man his peace. Once a shallow and vain creature, like headlights passing on a freeway, bright then gone. Am I better off alone? Alone. Hey Jeff, I got this poem from somebody, man.
Really? That's cool. I'm very happy for it.
Yeah, man, this one's kind of neat, man.
So you had to wrap it up.
All right, yeah. You know,
Well, it's probably a great poem, I believe.
This one's pretty cool. It's like one of those deals. Don't you love the colors and